Hello everyone. So this video might be a little lengthy. I will be showing you the jobs control tab, and I'll be going over the entire jobs control on how you create travelers, on how you log your jobs, how to use the shop view, and everything else that goes with the jobs control. So by clicking on jobs control, you will see a job search table and the open job window. So in the job search table, you're able to sort by anything. So let's say you have a lengthy list of jobs at this point and you wanted to sort by the job number. If you click on here, this will change the direction by which it shows you the job numbers. Also with the part numbers, this one will change it by ascending or descending, same with description, revision, customer, and so on. In the search tab here, you can put any text and it will search by the job. If let's say you wanted to look for a customer and you said basic, it will find only jobs that have basic LLC. Or any other text. So even if the description said basic, it will pull that up also. Now, if you wanted to search by the part number, you can type in the part number or anything else that's present in all of these fields. Now, to access a job number, you will go ahead and enter the job number into this field. Click enter or view job. This will open up your general information and everything that pertains to that job. So you have your description, part number, revision, customer, PO number, line, quantity, price, etc. Now you're able to change your price or any of this information by clicking on it and changing the quantity or price. Anything you might want to change. Now, this hasn't reflected the change, but if you reload the page, this will change. I'm just going to go back and change that to 400. Reload this page. Okay, so now in your first tab, which is reports, you have your profit and loss report, overall timing, accepted versus non-conforming in percentage wise, and employees that have worked on every operation. So now in the profit and loss report, if you click view more, this will give you a little bit more information. It will tell you how much you spent on deliveries, on material, and everything else that you put into the finances. Now you can also set your margins. You can put a, let's say, job spending margin of 6,000, and this will reflect in the notifications. If you're going to be approaching your spending limit, it will notify you that you're approaching your spending limit or you have exceeded your spending limit. Now, the finances shows you the everything you have spent on tooling. Deliveries you can add here and say that, okay, you shipped something for this job, UPS, details 20 parts, cost for shipping was 200, and then you select your status. You can add that and then change your status if once it's delivered. Now, your materials are only linked to the accounting software. So if you wanted to have your material cost added, you would have to add it in the accounting software. Your non-conformance is also linked to the non-conformance tab. You're only able to delete it from here, but you're not able to create a new non-conformance. You would have to create your non-conformance through the NCC tab. You have your files that you're able to upload with different categories, such as purchase order, certs, drawings, operation sheets, inspection reports, and everything else. Now, to do that, you would just click onto the upload button, select which type it is, and choose your file and upload it. History tab will show you exactly what it says, historic jobs with the same part number. So if you have another job that you've done before and it has the same exact part number, it will show up here and you will be able to click on that job number to open it. It will also tell you which files are present in that job number. So let's say if you added some setup sheets or something, it will tell you that, okay, this job number already has the setup sheet, so you don't have to upload a new setup sheet to this job. Now, the miscellaneous field is customizable. You can add your own fields into here. So right now there's miscellaneous job notes, packing requirements, and progress. So these are the 3 different fields you are able to add, and you can add as many as you'd like. To add those, you would go to your settings, jobs, and custom job fields, and you can add them here. So you're going to say, you're going to press plus, you're going to name the field. Let's say you're going to say options, and select the field type. Now, once you select the field type, text area is the area where you can put a lot of text in. Text field is just a simple one-line field, and then your select options, you're able to actually add them into here. So let's say I'm going to add another option that will reflect in my jobs miscellaneous tab. So now here in my progress, I have another option here, which is named option. So going back, I will show you the routing. So the routing here, the routing tab is essentially the traveler. So you're able to create a new operation, you're able to print your traveler, and then you're able to copy your routing information. So since this job number, I created my first my first traveler, I will be able to copy this traveler to my next job, so I don't have to create everything from scratch. Now, I will be adding something where you will be able to create your own templates and just copy those templates into the jobs that you create, so you don't have to remember in which job you have a template for which for different jobs. Now, in the meantime, you can create dummy jobs and write down the numbers and just copy them this way. Now, so the traveler, if you has a couple of different things for job tracking. So your key numbers are the most important ones here. So I'm going to say add operation, and I'm just going to say that this operation is say customer operation 100, description, vendor name, house, or you can put anything else. You can just say house, and then your traveler description. So let's say now, as you can see, this customer inspection added over here, but you're able to sort as you'd like. So let's say I'm going to have to move this now. I'm going to have to say that this is 20, 30, 40, 50, 70, 80, 90, 100. So I've moved those operations so it reflects. It goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So left to right. Now, if you click Print Traveler, it's going to give you the entire traveler for your shop flow. For your shop floor. Now, the way we organize these is in the description. We put what we need, such as inspect incoming material, material cert numbers. You're able to put anything there. That's why I say that being able to copy these and creating your own templates would be much better. And here, the way we work with this, we put this out on the floor, and then we put our initials of when it was received, who it was received by, and the date when it comes to incoming inspection of the material. Now, programming and engineering, we put our initials, whoever was working on the programming, whoever approved it. Same goes with fixtures, but for the operations, we say, all right, so you have to machine to program number, and all of this is a part of the ISO and AS requirements, and it's not something you must use if you're not ISO and AS certified. But if you are, then this is something you will have to use. And so that's pretty much how it works. You put all of that stuff into the description. And now another trick, I would say, so if see as everything is divided nicely here and everything is kind of on the same page except for our last operation that we just created, even though it fit in, but sometimes it won't fit in. But if you want to, let's say, have this customer inspection on the next page, you would have to go to your previous operation. So the previous one is shipping 90. So you go to shipping 90, and then in the description, you're just going to put spaces. You're going to put enough spaces so that when you press Save Changes and go to print the traveler, it actually moves down. So you can see, this did move down over here, but now this entire area kind of looks funny. So you want to go to your inspection 80 and adjust that. So you're probably going to want to add another couple of spaces, save that, and then go to print traveler again. And now it looks much better, but it could be better. So you're just going to have to play with the number of spaces you put into individual operations to make the printed traveler version look much nicer. Now, in your production history, this is all of your traveler operations, and this is where, once you start recording your ops, where everything is going to reflect. So to use, to track the jobs, you would go into your icon here and click on Shop View Login. So Shop View Login is only for the shop users who are going to be logging their jobs or their attendance, like I showed in the previous attendance and calendar video. So going to the shop view, I'm already logged in. I'm going to log out here, and I'm going to log in as shop user that I previously created. Both of those are case sensitive, so you have to have the correct password and log in order to get in. Now, here you're able to clock in, clock out, which is only for attendance purposes. Now, if you want to log your jobs, you have to click on the job log, enter your employee ID number, and then it will switch the screen and it will say that these are my current jobs right now, or the persons who logs in to the job log. Now, the two buttons here have changed to open job and close job instead of clock in and clock out. So to open a job, you have to know your key number. Now, let's say I'm going to be logging in the milling operation, right? Milling, 4-axis milling, up 50. So the key for this one is 13440. So I'm going to click Open Job. It's going to prompt ask for the job operation key. Put that in. You say OK. It's going to ask to confirm, and you're going to say OK. And it says that the job record is started. So now if I don't use this screen and I do not move my mouse, this will essentially log me out to the main screen. Same if I pressed exit. So within 30 seconds, it will log you back, log you out of there. Just in case, if you have a computer on your shop floor and everybody's using it, and somebody clicks job log and they forget to sign out, they will, it will automatically sign them out and bring you back to this main data table where it's going to show everybody's jobs and who's working on which job. So you can click here again, go into job log. Now you can open as many jobs as you want. So once you click close job, you will have to select which job you're closing. So you select the job and then you specify the time you've spent working on the job. Let's say you spent 60 minutes and then you say accepted parts and rejected 0 and whether it was a setup, operation complete, or is it pre-work. So I'm just going to leave those blank. And actually for this one, I'm going to say time spent 0. I will show this in a minute. So say 0, accepted parts 10, rejected parts 0. Now I'm going to go ahead and click close job. Now I'm going to open again. Sorry, operate. So now close job again and say 60 minutes, accepted parts 20, rejected 0. Wasn't a setup. I'm just going to say close job. And I'm going to do another one just for the setup purposes. Job 2000 setup. So this is how this shop view works. This is the only way. This is the only way this works. There is nothing more to it. You just open your jobs and you close them. No more tracking. Everything manual, pretty much. And when you go back to your jobs, this page, you go into your production history, and see this one has changed to in process, and it says that. No, actually, sorry, I was logging this one in. So it says in process also, and it's giving me 3 different records that I've just put in. It tells you the employee name, status, type, start, stop, calculated time, and manual time. So now the reason I did this as 0 is because now it's only going to take into consideration the calculated time. So when I clicked open job, it was 8:52 p.m. and when I clicked close job, it was 8:53 p.m. So the calculated time is 1 minute, and it only takes it will take into consideration only this calculated time if you do not put anything in the manual time. If you just say 0. Now, if you did put something into the manual time, the calculated time will not matter. It will reflect here, but it won't show in the report section. So even if this says 2 hours or 30 minutes, it's still going to calculate it as 60 minutes. Sort of a manual override. Now, this type here says setup. The same scenario applies. If you put 0 here, it's going to take into the consideration the calculated time, not the manual time. This is one way of tracking your jobs, which does reflect in the reports. Once you click view report, it will show that you have worked for 1 hour and 10 minutes in production, op 50 for access milling, and 2 hours in setup. It will show you the total production time. It will show you the total setup time. It will calculate your shop overhead costs and your profit and loss. So if you go to settings and go to defaults, then go to the job section, you can put your hourly shop overhead cost into here. So the way I did this, I took like 3 years or so of my spending. I averaged everything out, and then I said that, okay, so my overhead per machine, if the shop was not doing anything, pretty much, my overhead cost would be $50 an hour, based on a 8-hour workday, so on, so on. Well, you can determine that yourself. There was more to my calculations, but generally that's kind of how I did it. Now, going back to jobs control 1506, it does take the shop overhead costs into consideration, and it shows you your total profit is $37,224.17 after your deliveries, material, finances, and time that it took. Also including your non-conformances that you create in the NCC. And again, it's going to show you your earnings per hour on this particular job. Now, another way of, actually, one more thing. So if you wanted to access this shop view login on the shop floor without having access to this button, so without logging into the system and pressing this button, you would just put your domain name, which is portal for everyone, or the IPv4 address, and you will say shopview.php and click enter, and that will take you to this page here. So now I'm going to go back here. Load this. Now I'm going to go back into my shop view, log out from this view. And so the two major differences for you to know where you're logging in, whether it's the shop view or the regular system, the admin, the shop view will say log into shop view. The other one will say log into ERP, I believe. Now, in your username, I'm going to say machine. And I went over this in the other video on how the shop view and shop view works, but I'll go back real quick. So go into settings, user accounts, create user. This is only for the admin page. Now create shop view user is for the shop view. Now, when you create a shop view user, you have to know whether it's machine or not. So, pretty much doesn't have to be a machine. If you want to use that view or the other, you just have to name it a machine. So the previous one was shop, and the machine name stays blank. This one that I'm going to be showing you is going to be machine, and the machine name is going to be machine. So this is the only difference, and this is how the software knows which one you're logging into. So you would go here, machine, click login. Oh, sorry. Login. What's the password? So I'm just going to say add shop view user. So never created this one. Now that I created it, I did go in here. Okay, so here you're able to clock in and clock out also, unless you click job log. Once you click job log, this entire screen changes and you're not able to clock in or clock out. You would have to, so I'm going to show you job log 111. You would have to exit to main screen in order for someone to be able to clock in and clock out. So job log in this view, which is per machine, I would say. I have iPads on each machine, and this is how I log all of my jobs. You go click the job log, enter your employee ID number, whoever is working on that machine. Now with this, the entire screen changes, and it is optimized only for iPads. So on an iPad, there's not going to be this spacing, it's just going to be this entire screen. And you have a couple of buttons here. Start day, finish day, start machine clean, finish machine clean, and so on, as you can see. Now, whenever you're trying to log a job, you would have to put your operation key here. So let's say for this one, I'm going to do the other operation. I'm going to say that on this one, I'm working on the op63 axis milling, which is 13441. 13441, click change, and this screen changes to that particular job. So the way this entire view works is that it tracks your machine runtime, your machine idle time for the day. Now, there is nothing else that actually shows you the information that you input here. All of that is still in the works. I'm still creating an entire dashboard of your profits, losses, how many, how your jobs are doing, your schedules, etc. So all of that will be there if you're going to be using this. One day, once that is complete and you update your software, you will have all of that data going back to when you were actually tracking all of this. Since you are already inputting this information, just no systems yet to show for it. So in order to use this, in the beginning of the day, you would click Start Day, and your idle time will start running. Now, once your day is started, you're able to use every other option here. So I'm just going to start with Add Coolant Oil Change Tool. So the Change Tool is sort of obsolete, but you are able to use it if you want to. By clicking Change Tool, you would have to specify the type, put the size in, and it will say Change Tool. And it should reflect, I believe, in here. Not sure, as I'm not using that anymore, but yes, it does reflect. It does reflect in the finances. Says that the operator name changed a half-inch end mill while running the part of the machine, and op60. So machine would be the machine name. Now, going back here, you're able to click Add Oil or Add Coolant, just a click of a button, and it says oil added, whether you add the oil in gallon, from buckets or something like that. Just a button that, to have a record that you've added oil. Once again, nothing there to show for it yet. Now, same works with Add Coolant. Now, the only time your machine runtime is going to start is when you click Cycle Run. When you click Start Setup, Start Rework, or Start Machine Clean, your machine runtime is not on. The machine is technically still idling. So that will all be also reflected in the dashboard. Now, you will be able to know why your machine was idling pretty much, whether it was machine cleaning time, or you were doing some rework on that machine, or you were just putting a setup. That's why it wasn't running. So, okay. So for you to start a setup, you would just click Start Setup, click OK, and then it says that the selected mode is in setup. So it's yellow. You can tell that your machine is in setup, especially if you have an iPad and you're just doing your setup right now. Once your setup is complete and you're done with putting in all your tools and everything else, you would just go ahead and press Stop Setup, and this will only calculate the time from when you clicked Start Setup to when you clicked stop setup. The same exact scenario applies for start rework and stop rework. Now, the way this this works for me, when I do my setups, I click start setup, I do my entire setup, I machine my entire first piece, and then I click stop setup. So once I click that stop setup, it will go ahead and log my setup, but it will not log my part. Stop setup, it says setup finished, but this did not log in any parts that I've made. So after that, I just click add manually, and then it says, is this part good? Yes or no. I say, well, if it's a scrap, then no. If it's good, then yes. And you say, you enter the cycle time for this part in minutes. So you would say that, okay, technically this took me 0 minutes because it was already in the setup. So I know this because this is the way I use it. If you have any suggestions on how to improve this, I'm all ears. So I'm going to say 0, click OK, and that's going to be it. Now I'm going to say, now my amount of logged parts only updates when the cycle is running, when the machine runtime is running. I will be fixing that. So now when you actually know your cycle time, I usually just run another piece and I see how long it runs. And then I say add manually, say another part, and then I know, okay, this part now runs for 20 minutes. I just say, okay, and it says part log. Okay, now when I know that, and when I have that information, I will update the current cycle time in this corner. I will say that my current cycle time is 1 minute for demonstration purposes. And now after I run the actual part and I say, okay, let's let's run the machine, and I go ahead and click cycle run on the machine, I just click cycle run right next to the machine on the tablet, on the iPad. And right now it says select the job mode production, machine status running, and my cycle time is counting backwards. So now I don't have to remember how many parts I made as long as I click my cycle run and cycle stop, and it will always log the part after that time has gone by. So I can pause it if I pause my machine. Now it's not running, but my machine idle time is running. But also, it's calculating that, all right, so something's happening. Your machine is idling for some reason, but you haven't logged the part in. Now, if I click cycle stop again, it will simply disregard my cycle run. It will not record that anywhere just yet, but I will be making that. If you do click cycle stop twice, it will record that, it has, there was an issue, and for some reason the cycle was stopped after so much time. So I'm just going to click cycle run again. The timer will continue. We're going to wait those 30 seconds, and after that, it's going to log in that one part that we have made. In the meantime, the start machine clean and finish machine clean works the same exact way. You just click start machine clean whenever you're cleaning it, and once you're done cleaning, you press finish machine clean. But again, no information, no feature to show for it just yet. Now the cycle has stopped. It says that my amount of logged part is 2. Technically, it should be 3. So this is just the way this updates. This is going to be changed. Now, all right. So at the end of the day, I go ahead and press finish day and say okay. So now done. Now I can press the complete job operation. That will indicate that my operation was closed and everything is complete. Now going back to my jobs, all of this will reflect here. History, go into, see as the status has changed to complete, and it says right here that I was doing a setup for 1 minute. I ran one piece, I think it didn't log for some reason. says one piece. Maybe I didn't do it. Okay. So one piece, runtime, manual time, 20 minutes. One piece at an actual calculated time is 1 minute also. And then my complete operation is right here. 0 time just tells you pretty much what time you've completed your operation. This is just for showing you that this op is complete. It's also going to say complete in the routing section, and it will say in process. So all of this is the complete in process, etc. is going to be crucial for the customer portal that will be coming. Essentially, this is how it will show to your customer on what stage your part, their part is. I believe that's all for this entire software. I think I went through everything, and if there's anything else that you guys would like to see, I will happily accept any suggestions on anything. So please let me know, and that will be all. Thank you.